Some stories begin with a whisper. This one began with a dusty old tape, a sermon long forgotten, and a truth that changed an entire town. My name is Henry Cole. I was born and raised in a small place called Miller's Creek, where Sunday mornings meant one thing: church bells and the sound of Pastor Samuel's voice. He was the kind of man everyone trusted, tall, calm, and always speaking like God was sitting right beside him. He baptized our children, buried our parents, and gave us comfort when the world felt too heavy. Then, one summer day in 1989, he vanished. No letter, no goodbye. Just gone. Rumors grew like weeds. Some said he'd run away with money from the church fund. Others whispered about a secret family in another town. But no one ever proved anything. And like most small towns, we did what people do when truth hurts. We stopped talking about it. 30 years passed. I left Miller's Creek, built a life in Chicago, and didn't think much about the old church again. Until one day, a call came from a woman named Ruth, the new caretaker of the church. She said, "Henry, you might want to come home." We found something, an old tape in the basement. It's labeled, Pastor Samuel, Final Sermon. Her words sent a chill through me. He never gave a final sermon. He disappeared before Sunday ever came. So I packed a bag and drove home, not knowing that what waited for me wasn't just a recording. It was a confession. The church hadn't changed much. Same wooden pews, same creaking floor, same light falling through stained glass like painted rain. Ruth met me at the door, her eyes red from crying. "It's in the office," she said softly. "Old cassette player." I listened to the first minute and, "Henry, you need to hear it yourself." I pressed play. Static filled the room, then his voice, older, slower, trembling. "My dear congregation, if you're hearing this, I've gone where truth finally needs no disguise." He paused. You could almost hear him breathing between words. "I have sinned, not against God, but against your trust." Ruth turned toward me, her hand shaking. We listened as he spoke of a lie that started small. He'd once used church money to help a dying family pay for medicine. A choice made in secret, out of compassion, but without permission. When the board noticed the missing funds, he lied, told them the money was lost in a clerical error. And the lie grew until suspicion became shame. "I left," he said, "because I couldn't face you. I thought I'd spared you disappointment, but lies don't protect. They poison what they touch." Then came silence, a long, heavy silence that felt like a lifetime. After a moment, his voice returned. "If you forgive me, don't erase what I did. Remember it, and let it teach you that grace doesn't hide the truth. It redeems it." The tape clicked off. Ruth was crying quietly. I just sat there, frozen. Then she whispered, "Henry, there's something else." She handed me a small envelope, yellowed with time. It was addressed to me, in Pastor Samuel's handwriting. Inside was a note. "Henry, I didn't just leave the town. I left you something to make right. Your father's land. It was never sold fairly. The church took it when he couldn't pay his dues. I was the one who signed the papers." My heart dropped. For years my family had struggled, believing we'd lost our home to bad luck. But it wasn't luck, it was him. I wanted to be angry, but all I could feel was sorrow, because his voice, even in confession, didn't sound like guilt. It sounded like a man trying to free his soul. We buried Pastor Samuel's letter under the old oak tree behind the church. The next Sunday, Ruth played the tape for the whole congregation. The town sat in stunned silence. Some cried, some bowed their heads, and a few, the ones who'd once accused him, quietly slipped out the back door. But when the tape ended, Ruth stood up and said, "We've been carrying this weight for 30 years. Maybe it's time we let forgiveness carry it instead." In the weeks that followed, something strange happened. People began coming to the church again, not for sermons, but to talk, to confess, to heal. One man returned money he'd taken from a neighbor years ago. A woman admitted she'd spread lies about her sister-in-law. Even I walked up to the altar and told the truth about my bitterness. And somehow, telling it out loud didn't make me feel smaller. It made me lighter. I realized Pastor Samuel's last lesson wasn't about sin or shame. It was about freedom. Forgiveness doesn't erase lies. It redeems them. It turns the darkness of what was done into light for those who come after. Today, if you walk into Millers Creek Church, you'll see a small plaque near the pulpit. It reads, "The Forgotten Pastor's Sermon." May we all find the courage to tell the truth before silence does. If you've ever held on to anger or carried a truth too heavy to share, maybe this is your sign to set it down, to speak it, to forgive, even the ones who never asked. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please leave a comment below. Tell me what forgiveness means to you. Your stories keep this channel alive. And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories about love, loss, and the lessons we carry. Until next time, take care of your heart and let truth be your peace.